Hello, everyone. Buongiorno. Good morning.
Good
How are
morning.
you? Good morning. How are you after yesterday?
Morning, everyone.
Good morning. Let's see.
I slept like a log.
Mike, how are you doing?
Better. I'm
Better.
waiting. I just took my Taki Purina. I'm waiting for it to kick in.
Okay. So I'm very happy that we can meet for our General Assembly. Today is a very important meeting because apart of the usual communication about the activities of the association and of the local group's activity, we need to talk also about the renewal of the executive committee and also the presidency team. So maybe even if this is the second point that we should talk about, we can immediately talk about that. Of course, you need to vote. And this year, we had to, in our form, we put also the name of the first vice president, because after the resignation of Sarah Howell as second vice president, Mike had to be voted by the members of the associations, as he had never been elected officially as second vice president. So we need at least that in an official document of the association, this election is to be ratified, officially. There should be a document in which this is present. Okay, so in the form, you will see the name of Mike as first vice president, the name of Alessandra Cannelli as a second vice president, and there are 10 members that have decided to candidate for the executive committee. So I encourage all of you to vote for them, even if, as for the number, all of them will be elected, if at least they receive a vote. Okay, just one vote. Okay, so this is about the elections. Also, I wanted to underline that this term is for 2 years, and so for 2022-2024. And this assembly will go on until no, not now. I mean, we will stop it at 9, but we will start again in the evening after the raffle, when we officially proclaim the newly elected presidency team and executive committee. Okay, is it clear? Have you got any questions about that? Mike?
Yes, the form, is it in the app? Is it in the conference app, or is it,
No,
was it sent by email?
It's no, the form is in the convention site. Okay. All the registered members have received 2 links, one to the convention site that is, a reserved area only for the members, where also all the recordings of the sessions will be uploaded after the end of the convention. And there you will find the election area, where you clicking on, you can vote, and you can express maximum 4, or you can just vote for 4 members in the executive committee. Okay, and you can vote just once, of course. And there you will find also the certificate of attendance to be downloaded. Okay, so it's an area just for of course, the real members of the associations, because of course there are also guests or sponsors that do not have access to this area.
Maria Grazia.
Sì?
I think it's useful also to remind everyone that if they open the election form once, they can't enter another time. So when you open it, you have to vote.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if Fabrizio has specified that in some way. I don't know if you checked.
I didn't check it, but I remember
Okay.
last year,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in particular 2 years ago, not last year, but 2 years ago, and there was someone, in fact, who opened the form but didn't fill in. And so when they try to enter again, you can't, because just once you can open it and vote.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, but anyway, it's just one page because 2 years ago it was divided in sections, so maybe people couldn't see anything, all the things all together. But anyway, I think it's quite evident, but maybe, you know, it's better to remind that because so people can vote. What else? We have also to approve Emilia, okay, sorry, I'm sleeping. Enrica Flamini, that has given her availability to become revisore because we need another one after the resignation of Anna Di Pinto. So our Collegio dei Revisori has to be composed of 2 people. So one has been elected, was elected in the assembly of last May, on the 18th of May, and is Bethan Boyle. And Enrica Flamini has given her availability. So I hope that this assembly will approve her, because we need to have these 2 people to approve the our balance, you know, every year. Do you agree with this? Of course, I hope so. I don't know if you want to raise your hand, and this is a way to say, okay, it's Valentina.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. And it's nice that also, you know, okay, thank you, Paola, and thank you all the people that are raising their hands. Okay. Now I would like to talk about the, you know, the situation of the association and the activities we try to carry out this year. After the end of the convention last year, the association underwent a very critical financial situation. Maybe most of you know about that because they participated also in you know, the assembly last month, or of course are part of the executive, and so they know about that because we always spoke about that in every meeting. So because of this financial critical situation, unfortunately, we had to we were obliged to fire our assistant, our dear Patrizia, that is now near me. And this was a very, very terrible, you know, situation for us. We had to rearrange also the organization of the association. And of course, this had an impact also on my presidency. I mean, because I had to also cover most of the tasks that generally were carried out by Patrizia. But Patrizia, immediately after this, you know, situation, has become a volunteer of our association and is going on collaborating with us. And especially in this period, of course, she's collaborating, but of course, under an agreement that we decided just to, because we really needed, especially in this period. But I wanted, to let you know this, because as a no-profit organization, now we need really to readjust and reorganize the association, and that had an impact also on the renewal of the executive committee. For the first time, we asked the candidates to not only to give their time availability, but also to explain a little bit their profile based also on some competencies. And we gave them some areas that needed to be covered and that respond to the needs of the association. So, for example, taking care of the projects or taking care of the economic and financial problems or of advertising or promoting activities. This implies changes. And so I think it's important that all the members of the associations became aware of the situation, so that the new presidency team and the new executive can effectively collaborate and help in improving the situation and overcome also the crisis. Honestly, maybe in harmony with the title of the conference, as a president, I'm hopeful that the situation is improving a little bit, even financially. And so we have always to keep, of course, to pay attention to our expenses and to try to improve, of course, not improve, to try to organize events and courses that can also try to help the financial situations of the association. So I hope that in the next executive committees there could be a real planning of the next years. That was what I expected, but honestly, I didn't have the how can I say, the energy, but above all the time to do, as I had to do many other things. And in most cases, we worked in few people, really few people. I don't know if someone wants to say something about that or want to ask. I would like you to greet Patrizia, and I don't know if she wants to say something. No, Patrizia.
Ciao, Patrizia.
I think we really should thank her for what she's doing for the association. Yeah.
Thank you, Patrizia.
Thank you.
Ok, ciao Irene.
Ciao, Patrizia, dobbiamo parlare, poi ci sentiamo.
Yeah, I know. Okay, this is for explaining the situation of the association from a financial point of view and also from the point of view of the organization. But I would like to say also something about the activities. Of course, the first two things, I mean, the financial crisis and the organization of the association had an impact on the activities. But despite that, at the beginning of the year, we were able to carry out an interesting project with IATEFL and the British Council, the Prelim 2 projects. The Prelim 2, because it's the second edition of this project, that involved about 25 teachers in Italy, most of which were not TESOL Italy members. So thanks to this project, we had also the possibility to increase the number of members, and this project also was really appreciated because it was based on giving importance to increase the self-confidence of teachers when speaking English in the classroom. Today there will be a presentation by Abby Crocher of Lewis School, that was our partner during this project, and she will share with us reflection on this partnership that are, in our opinion, have a very good beneficial effect on teachers. Then in the months of February and March were completely dedicated to ask the request for the grant, because you know, the US Embassy as a call every year. Honestly, now just once a year, but in the past even two. Unfortunately, now only one. And so we had to concentrate all our efforts to develop a request meeting certain areas, because of course every year they want to cover different areas of interest. And that's why the idea of promoting hope in ERT came out, because, for example, one of the priorities of this request of this for obtaining the grant was to cover the area of educational values, of you know, human rights. And so we thought that this could be a good idea you know, also to obtain this grant, but at the same time, we thought that these topics really interest, you know, teachers and educators, considering in particular the situation we are living. In April, however, and even in May, the activity of the association, you know, at a national level, was completely focused on the organization of the joint webinars with the TESOL Ukraine. After the starting of the war, the aggression of Russia against Ukraine, TESOL Italy published a sort of statement supporting TESOL Ukraine, following also the example of other associations, first TESOL International, but also other affiliates. And thanks to the contacts established by Sarah Howell with the TESOL Ukraine presidency, we met TESOL Ukraine president and vice president, and a group of us planned these webinars that were held twice a week in May, last May, covering different areas of topics, with the dual aim of supporting both Ukrainian teachers living, you know, the terrible situation of the war, but at the same time also the larger ERT community that also had to welcome in the classroom Ukrainian students, and so having to face problems linked to trauma and how to support these students in the classroom. It was a really successful experience, And today, for example, and even yesterday, there were some, yesterday there was a very interesting, but I'm sure that maybe more than one sessions about teaching in situations of emergencies. And today we are having the session with the TESOL Ukraine president and vice president talking about that. But now I would like to give a voice to the groups because some of the groups organized interesting activities, or however, I think they can share with us the difficulties they are meeting or they have met over this year in particular. So we can maybe, is there Maria Antonietta?
Yes. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I'm here.
Do you want to start, Maria Antonietta, and then maybe?
Non so se volevi me o Maria Antonietta Sessa.
Yeah, no, I wanted Maria Antonietta, you, and then maybe you can decide. I know, and you can, okay. Okay, Maria Antonietta, the Ortensi, National Coordinator. Okay.
Allora, benvenuta a tutti i coordinatori dei gruppi locali. So che si sta adesso, mi sembra di vedere che stamattina non c'è nessuno di Rieti, ma credo che da gennaio forse si formerà un nuovo
Maria Antonietta,
gruppo.
can you move to English, because maybe we have a lot of other people.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So next year probably we'll have another local group in Rieti. I haven't seen anybody here because but yesterday I know that they were following the convention, and I am in contact with them. So this is I had some contacts also with Olbia, but then they never wrote to me again.
But they are presenting, if I remember
They are
well.
presenting.
Yeah, so maybe of course we can immediately contact them after the
okay
convention.
And for the local group in Rome, really we had very few activities. We continued with our creative writing, and we had 2 seminars at the end of February and beginning of March. And then we had the final ceremony with the students, even if online, still online, in the beginning of June. Okay, these are the only activities. And now, I don't know, Maria Antonietta Sessa or someone else can intervene.
We can start from Maria Antonietta and then the other members. There is also a new one that we have to, to congratulate on, because there is Valentina Bamber, and that she's starting her experience. And so, okay, let's start from. Yeah.
Can I talk from Trieste, just because I might have to leave early.
Janine, thank you so much for yesterday.
No problem. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Thank you for your availability anyway.
I have no problem at all. My pleasure. I just wanted to share that briefly, which I mentioned in the meeting in May, that in the school year 2021-2022, I have to say that our local group was not that active. We didn't have any major events, but this year we picked up again, and we have a few events. We've had one already. We're having another one next week, and we continue because, we believe in this. We believe in professional development and sharing ideas with the English teachers of Friuli Venezia Giulia. So our first event was a storytelling and creative writing workshop. We had an author from the United States come and speak with us about how we can write down our stories as teachers. And it was very much focused on teachers, but then of course you can always take those ideas and bring them into the classroom. With Caroline Steckley and her author friend from the United States who was visiting. And then this next week, we're going to have a
Megan.
repeat. What's that?
Yeah. Megan, you are
Megan
having,
is
yeah.
coming up from Rome. We love Megan, and she's going to repeat her session on educating in emergencies, which
Yeah.
here in Trieste, I think that the teachers, I hope they come, because we have, like the situation you were saying, we have a lot of displaced people
Yeah.
in our classrooms, and the stress level is very high. And so I think that what she has to say can really resonate and help teachers in this area. So we're looking forward to another TESOL event. Barbara, if maybe you attended Megan's at the national level. So those are the two, and we plan on doing a few also in the spring. So that's all for the Trieste TESOL local group. But we're very excited still to be a part of TESOL Italy, and we're trying to get our traction back. So
Thank you,
you're
Jenny.
welcome.
Okay, I don't know, Maria Antonietta, now Maria Antonietta Sessa. Okay.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Okay, I'm the coordinator of Benevento TESOL group. And this year we have organized 3 webinars, 2 with Jane Rebel and 1 with Renee Wyndham. They were all about self-awareness as teachers and as human beings. And well, we organized only 3 because, which is a little if we compare this number with the number of webinars we had the previous year. But what I noticed was that my colleagues were really tired of, fed up of watching webinars. So they all wanted to meet again in a physical place for a face-to-face meeting, but it was impossible, as you know, because of COVID restrictions. But at the end of the school year, we managed to organize a real seminar, a face-to-face seminar with Angela Ricciardi as a speaker. And she presented her experience as a teacher of English literature. And it was very involving. It was really interesting because she showed us how to present literature through pop and rock music. So I hope that Angela, who is a very shy person, will present this seminar during the next TESOL convention. For this year, we haven't organized anything yet, but we have a lot of ideas. And of course, we will ask Oxford University Press and the other publishers to send us their speakers, and the Oxford University Press has already contacted us, and we have something on schedule, which is about how to use digital apps in teaching. And okay, but we will also have a seminar with Angela Vitale as a speaker. She has presented a seminar on refugees and how to make e-books, which was quite interesting. And I think that what can help the group to grow is happy hours, TESOL English happy hours, because it was a winning experience, how can I say, a winning idea, very successful. In fact, when we had the last English happy hour last year, a lot of the new younger colleagues came to our meetings, and also I also met many colleagues who were in the TESOL Association many years ago, but then they had left and they came back to our happy hours. The formula is very simple. We meet in a bookshop. We have a nice chat with friends in English in the presence of a native speaker, because otherwise it seems a very artificial situation, you know, to speak English when we are all Italians. It's rather clumsy. So we need a native speaker, a mother tongue, and we choose a topic. We discuss the topic. We watch videos. There is also some material, and we also propose materials that can be used in everyday routinary classes. So we can use this formula also with our students. Okay, just one more thing. Okay, the topics we have chosen for this year are Queen Elizabeth, of course, we want to commemorate, and our queen, our beloved queen, but also to see the dark and brighter aspects of our personality, and mindfulness, which is a theme that is very interesting to many people, and urban legends on the Beatles, and who was Shakespeare? Who really was Shakespeare? We want to analyze the different theories about the true identity of Shakespeare.
Mhm.
So I hope that this will launch, revive the group again, because 2 years of COVID have been really.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you,
all.
Maria
Thank you.
Antonietta. And just also want to remind you that Maria Antonietta is one of the candidates of the executive committee. So she will give a greater contribution to the association in the next 2 years, not only as a coordinator of the group, or one of the historical groups of TESOL Italy, but also a direct involvement in life of the association.
Thank you very much.
Valentina Bamber.
Thank you very much, Maria Grazia. It's wonderful to meet everyone. I feel slightly daunted because it's all very new to me.
Don't worry, don't worry.
I was so impressed by yesterday's conference and the quality of the talk. So thank you very much. So I am very, very new because I took over from the wonderful coordinators that preceded me only last month. So I inherited the role from Jennifer Hill, but previously the local group in Bolzano was started by Mike Ennis, who is here.
Our next first president, first vice president.
Who has very kindly helped me with various things. So I'd like to very briefly sum up what was done before I joined as coordinator. So in this year, in 2022, there was one online event in January, which was with Professor Farrell, and it was about teacher language awareness. So teacher awareness, reflective practice. And then there was a rather wonderful face-to-face event in May, and that was to do with CLIL. It was the 7th symposium, and that was really successful. So there was going to be another event, which was in December, that was moved to February. And I'm really very happy about that, because that's going to give us more time to organize it in a way which is really focused. This event is to do with teaching English to young learners, and it happens every 2 years in very close collaboration with the local education authority for the German-speaking schools. So the German, because you know that in South Tyrol, Some schools are Latin schools, and then which are actually multilingual. Then we have the German language schools and Italian schools, and the local group has an agreement. So
Yeah.
actually this delay has given me a lot of opportunities to talk to people in our local group, and especially with the Pädagogische Abteilung, with the German schools. And what's really interesting is actually to understand the enormous constraints under which primary school teachers of English work. I'm very familiar with the context because I've been training teachers for many years at the university, but there are very specific constraints. For example, in German schools, primary school teachers only teach English for 2 years out of 5 because they begin in the 4th year. So that's given me lots of wonderful ideas for the future. The February 2023 event is going to be to do with assessment, integrating assessment in learning, which is really a very important theme. And then I would like to continue collaborating with a local university. Actually, I've already spoken to colleagues there, and hopefully we will continue working on storytelling, for example, narrative approaches, as a tool to really give confidence to teachers. There is a lot going on, and I can't give you anything more precise, but one of my thoughts in talking with colleagues was very similar to what our colleague from Benevento proposed. Your happy hours. We had a similar idea, which was to do with happy walks.
Yeah. Valentina, anyway, the idea also of organizing joint events or to share best practices is something that we can do, especially with online events, of course. But for example, if TESOL local group, Benevento local group wants to have you as a guest, or the contrary for some activities of the group, that's great. You know, they become, we could say, activities organized by you, but that give visibility to TESOL Italy in general. So that the advantage of online is that, you know, that what was organized only locally has become something that give visibility and then a beneficial effect on all TESOL Italy members.
I think it's going to be wonderful to continue in this dual modality, online events and in-presence events, and also to continue the collaboration with the university, which actually started many years ago in many ways. So that would be wonderful. And in relation to more informal opportunities for meeting, we'd already spoken about meeting in the beautiful region somewhere like in the mountains for walks, because many teachers have this webinar fatigue and would like to do something much more spontaneous and informal to gain confidence.
Thank you so much, Valentina.
Excuse me, I just wanted to add that we are planning to organize some seminar, if it's possible from a technical point of view, of course, in blended mixed modality, so that also people from outside Benevento can join. And
Thank you.
in this way, we can also organize seminars with experts, with speakers that are not living in Benevento, so that we can enlarge our, you know, raggio di azione.
Okay.
That's all.
Add one thing before I can. Sorry, Maria Grazia. I just wanted to add that I'm really also delighted to have met Janine, because I have relations. I'm half British, half Italian, and I have relations in Trieste. So I'd be delighted to actually meet in person. Thank you.
Wonderful. Elizabeth, I don't know if you want to say something for TESOL Marche, because unfortunately Michela Romoli is not here. Michela Romoli is the coordinator.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Yes, unfortunately, our coordinator isn't here. I'm afraid to say that the group hasn't been very active at all. And so we do have some ideas. We're actually thinking of what's something similar to Maria Antonietta. It's called a chatty cafe we want to do, where we get together and meet up together, hopefully in person, and just speak about things that we're interested in, obviously everything concerning ALT, and also a book club as well together, looking at the latest books for teachers, you know, for helping us as professionals. So these are things that we want to organise in the near future, let's say.
Anyway, I want to thank you for organizing the TESOL Cafe on Thursday, meeting Laura Jane McWilliams. We received great feedback, you know, and people liked this interview. Was really spontaneous. We talked with her. So I really also like this idea, if you want to develop interview with the people in the ELT field, that
Yes.
can share their, you know, ideas.
Yes, that would be really
suggestions.
interesting. I'd
Yeah.
like to do that. That would be interesting. Yeah, I'm happy that everyone enjoyed it.
Yeah. Of course, I invite all the people that are present, if they are interested in creating a local group, please write to Maria Antonietta, Hortensio, or to TESOL at gmail.com. Let us know. And I want to underline, because I'm not used to not to face problems, that okay, we have listened to positive experiences, you know, of these groups, but unfortunately other groups are experiencing a very deep crisis. In particular, a couple of groups maybe are going to stop if we don't find people that want to going on the experience. I'm referring in particular to Aquila Group, and it would be a great pity, because, you know, Aquila is a great history, especially after you know, the terrible experience of earthquake, and all the support that our association, together with the embassy, the US Embassy, you know, gave them and supported them during the years. So one of the things that I'm sure Daniela, as a new president, and Mike and Alessandra and all the new executive have to face and have to, you know, take care of immediately, is to try to revive, you know, the local groups, and try also to create new ones in other areas, because the local groups are the real heart of the association. And so I think that maybe, I don't know if there are people that want to say something else, because maybe as the sessions start at 9 and some of the people are involved as moderators, I just want to, yeah. Hi, Irene, sorry. Sorry,
I'm sorry, but I have to talk.
Yeah, but please, short, Irene, you know, because
no, very, very short. Yeah. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody, not just for yesterday or today, but for all the years I've shared with you, because I'm leaving my task as coordinator since, but for a number of reasons, but mainly because I retired a few years ago, and I find it very difficult to keep in touch with schools and, you know, this reality that actually now is outside me. But I've been working hard to find, you know, a word substitute, and in fact I found two that would be working together.
Great.
Because, yes, because that, I mean, they are complementary. They're perfect together. They'll be supporting each other, and they've known each other for years, and they're fantastic. So I'm very, very happy to have been able to find somebody who will continue, the action of TESOL and training in Messina, because that is the first thing. TESOL at the moment, we actually are, we haven't had any activity since the beginning of the pandemic, because we had planned a huge event, a joint event with some colleagues. Actually, they were not probably colleagues, but yes, there were teachers, the university teachers from Japan. Some of them were American, some of them were Japanese. They were due here for a couple of days for a conference. And in fact, they came because they had already started with all the thing when they shut down. I mean, when we were locked down from evening to the next morning, so to say. So they came and we met them, but of course we couldn't do anything. Nobody wanted to join, not even for lunch. Everybody was really scared. So we kept in touch. And recently they have contacted me again. I mean, the person who had first contacted me, who actually had found me on the TESOL website. That he was looking for a person, for a group coordinator from Sicily, and he found me. So he contacted me, and because that was my telephone number, and now that was the beginning of a beautiful friendship, actually. Now we have kept in touch along the years, and he has recently got back to me saying that he intends, now he has moved to the States. He's not living in Japan any longer after about 15 years. And he's working in the high school, if I'm not wrong. And in fact, he wants to come in possibly not next year, but to 2024. So I say we because yes, I'm leaving, but I'll be there. I mean, I won't be,
you'll be there,
official coordinator any longer, but I offer my support. So first of all, this event is coming, and then I hope and think many other things, because next coordinator from next Messina group, local group coordinator, is a great person and colleague. So everything will be all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Bye bye everybody, and thank you for everything.
Thank you, Irene.
And thank you, Patrizia knows, and I keep thanking her every single day of my life. Thank you, of course. You,
sorry,
I need to talk to you anyway, so maybe tomorrow, I mean, when everything will be
tomorrow.
No, I mean, I need to talk to you personally because for these group matters. So
okay, on Monday maybe it's better. On Monday maybe it's better.
No, tomorrow. I mean, after the end of the conference, of course. Monday. Okay, let's not too long a time pass. I mean, let's do it quickly.
Okay. But maybe it's, you have to talk to Daniela, maybe I can, we can talk together, but Daniela will be the new president tonight. Okay, so.
Right, okay,
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
So I was so sorry because I forgot also another coordinator that is not present, but because he's busy with the conference things, and I'm referring to Manuelisa Tuzzetti, that of the Gela Group. Okay, so that is giving also a contribution to the association, and is a candidate of the executive committee, as also Elizabeth Evans Cicconi. Okay, so don't forget to vote for the members, for the new members of the executive committee. I saw so many people very good friends, and I want to greet all of you and also the people that are participating in this assembly. And I also take this opportunity, I would do that even tonight, but to thank all of you for these 2 years. It was a great experience. And I wish every success to Daniela for tonight. Daniela, I don't know if you want to say something.
No, thank you. That's okay. I'm not very well, so I want to keep my voice for the presentation.
For tonight, and also for tonight.
I have a presentation.
Yeah.
And I'm suffering from bad cold, and so if you see my voice is very low, so I have to protect myself.
Okay, so anyway, we are working, I mean, in continuity. So, I mean, I'm trying to do my best to support the new...
I hope so.
Hope. Now it's hope has become our keyword. Okay.
Yeah. So enjoy the day. It is a very long one also today.
Okay, so maybe we can leave.
I'll be in touch quite soon.
Okay. Waiting for you.
And if there aren't any questions, I warmly thank everyone for your feedback in the chat, and maybe we can finish a bit earlier, so can we ready for our today's marathon.
5 sessions. So please join the 5 sessions.
Yeah,
they are ready to start. Yes.
Okay. Enrico, we can stop. Okay, maybe we finish a bit earlier.
You said that the road to happiness was long and winding. You said that the forest would get dark, and that the ground could shift here upon this hill we're climbing. No matter how close we get, we're still so far. But I trust we'll find the clearing. I'm trusting the trail. No matter what we're feeling, there's one way we can't fail. Let's just keep hiking. Let's plant our feet. Let's just keep hiking. Keep hiking with me. Hold my hand, baby, keep hiking with me. You said the road up to success was an impossible test unless we had some sort of map. And I could feel it in my chest just as our feet begged us to rest. I think this just might be the end of that. But I said I trust we'll find the clearing. I'm trusting the trail. No matter what we're feeling, there's one way we can't fail.